Hello survivors! The long-awaited part 2 in the bullet drop series has arrived. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly where to aim for guns and attachments depending on what range you are at. We will not be covering makeshift, shadow stalker, AUG, cross, or chevron scopes, as these do not have lines that are usable to line up long-range shots. For these scopes, I would highly recommend simple practice, as that is needed to land those long-range shots. We will not be covering guns that are not applicable with long-range scopes, such as shotguns, pistols, SMGs, the nail gun, and the paintball gun. For those of you that are looking for a particular gun, click the screen now and it will skip you to a particular scenario. Let's get started. First up, we'll be covering the sniper rifles. This includes the Timberwolf, Grizzly, and the Echo, which are all one shot to the head. For these three rifles, we do not have to worry about suppressors or muzzles because these rifles do not have barrel attachments. At 50 meters with these sniper rifles, the first shot is basically going to be dead center, with the second shot at 100 meters about one chevron down. The third shot at 150 meters is going to be about a chevron and a half, with the last shot being about 2 chevrons. Moving on to the 8x scope, we see that the first shot at 50 meters is just about in the middle, while the second shot at 100 meters is right on the tip of that arrow. The third shot at 150 meters is about a full line down, and the fourth shot at 200 meters is just above the second line. As for the 16x scope, at 50 meters, aim for that first dot. At 100 meters, aim for the first line. At 150 meters, aim for the second dot. And at 200 meters, I would aim just above that second line. We are now moving on to the rifles. All of this is the Augavere, makeshift rifle, Eaglefire, Fusillade, Hawkhound, Maple Strike, Sabertooth, Night Raider, Schofield, Zubeknikov, Snayperniska, Heartbreaker, Sport Shot, and the Matamorez. For the rifles, when using 7x scopes, the ranges are gonna be about 50 meters per half chevron. Using the 8x scope at 50 meters, you're going to want to aim just at that arrow, while the next successive ones are each about one line down. Using the 16x scope, you're really going to start to see a difference in between shots. The first one, right in the center. The second shot at 100 meters, about 2 notches down. At 150 meters, it's about 3 notches, and at 200 meters, you're about 4 notches. Next, we're going to be talking about rifles with their suppressor on. This increases drop by a factor of 1.2 or a 20% increase. Think of the Matamorez, however, as a rifle with its silencer on always, since it has an internal suppressor that will always increase the drop. With the 7x scope, the rifles with suppressors are going to drop about a notch every 50 meters. So 100 meters, 2 notches, 150 meters, 3 notches down, and 200 meters, 4 notches down. I have found that the difference with and without the suppressor is not very noticeable when using the 8x or the 7x scope, and only really seems to make a difference when using the 16x scope. Moving on to that, the 16x scope is almost dead accurate at 50 meters, a little bit more than 2 notches at 100 meters, a little bit more than 3 notches at 150 meters, and almost 5 notches at 200 meters. As we move on to the crossbow, you guys will notice that the impacts don't actually give us a hit marker, and this is because the crossbow and compound bow don't actually knock down destructibles. So we just have to wait and see those sparks that come off the target to see if it hit. And now technically the compound bow and crossbow have different bullet drops. In my experience, there is virtually no difference except for at very long range with the 16x scope. So for the purposes of this video, we will just kind of lump them together in one little picture here. Now that we have shown where all the bullets will fall at various ranges, I think it's important to discuss how ranges and scopes and accuracy work in Unturned. There are multiple reasons of why it is more difficult to hit someone at longer range. Not only do you have to predict the bullet drop at a farther distance, but the person also takes up less amount of your screen. Here at 50 meters, you can see that a large portion of the scope is taken up by the player's body, while at 200 meters with an 8x scope, you can see he's a very tiny pixel on my screen. Here's a little comparison I made for you guys organized by color, and as you can see, even if you were just aiming randomly, you're much more likely to hit the person that is much closer to you. Well, that just about wraps it up for this video, but I just want to take a quick second to talk to you guys a little bit about the direction I want to take the channel in the future. I'm currently in the process of ordering more servers, but when we do get these servers, I plan on doing a lot more community events. A large part of the reason for the delay on this video has been a massive amount of time I have put into remaking the CSGO map, Cache, in Unturned. This map will eventually be used with a Counter-Strike plugin that is currently in development. The map has been completed, and so you guys should expect videos more regularly again. Starting this Wednesday, we'll be starting a Workshop Wednesday series. Once a week, I will do a video about something on the workshop, from basic map making to maybe a map and mod showcase. I look forward to helping out the amazing community additions that are on the workshop and helping them get more attention. If you guys have any suggestions for the next video, please leave them down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please do not forget to subscribe. As always, have a good one.